And I think the rally's over. The euro could go a penny lower, but I don't see it any further than that. I mean, they know they got serious problems, and most of it's been discounted. And so I see the dollar going back to 74 during the remainder of the year, and that would be probably another factor in foreigners wanting to buy.
We have another question here. Are the PIGS countries the snowball that will unleash world economic avalanche? Is that the snowball that's going to unleash all this?
What is GS?
PIGS. Portugal, Italy, Greece, Spain.
There's 19 countries that are on the verge of or are bankrupt. And they're major countries. They're not Guyana or something like that, or some province in the Philippines. These are countries that previously had been, how would I put it, not, some of them are substantial, but others are, well, you might call them reasonably solid. And what's happened is that you have a plethora of countries. And if you'd been reading the International Forecaster, I've been covering this. And it's my guess that they're going to hold Greece together, and Ireland and Portugal and Spain and Italy. But they can't do it indefinitely. There's not enough money out there to do that. And unless they want to carry a lot more and then have hyperinflation. And we have to assume they don't want that. And so I think what they're going to do is take them all down together. And there'll be more than 19. There'll be a lot more than that. I mean, you got to look at some of these countries that are holding 75% of their reserves, or 65, or 58% of their reserves in U.S. dollars. Now, I know the average is 60.5. A year ago it was 64.5. So they have been our sellers. And, it remains to be seen, what they're holding as far as dollars is concerned. But I think they'll continue to try to get rid of them. And that's why the dollar is not going to stay where it's at.
Bob, everyone talks about the euro, the Greece contagion, how it's going to filter through. How is our states when they fail? I mean, Pennsylvania's ready to file bankruptcy, California's, not very far behind. How does that contagion spread throughout the world, or does it at all? I mean, California's the 8th largest economy in the world. I mean, how does this spread?
Well, the question is, does anybody own municipal bonds outside the country? And I don't know that. But I see no impetus to do so, because the break is taxation. And it's usually, in great part, they're usually purchased by institutions that exist, or individuals who exist within, we'll say, California or Pennsylvania, because there's a tax advantage. I mean, if you buy a bond for an Ohio municipality and you live in Pennsylvania, you don't get the tax benefits. And so there's no incentive to purchase municipal. So most of the damage is done within the state. And so that just makes things worse. It's just like with Greece. They got to tighten up. They have to have austerity, whether they like it or not. And the same thing is with the state. They got to lay off from 1/3 of all the employees. People can't, retire at 50 and 55 years old with large amounts of money. They can't allow that. I mean, retirement age is, no matter how many years you worked, has got to be 67 or 8. I mean, it's reasonable today. The stock market goes down to 1,000, the Dow. I mean, how is anybody going to get paid? Pensions and things like that. And so there's 20 states that are down.
And we're back. Sorry about that, folks. That's a little bit of trouble, but we decided to come back. Hope you were able to stay tuned. Hope we didn't lose too many here at the very last part of the hour. Did you want to complete on talking what you were, Bob?
No, I think we've covered that. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I do, and I hope we can get to it.
We'll get a short one. We get about 4 minutes. I think we're lucky. We went through an hour without getting cut off.
How about that?
We're having DSL problems. I'm in a remote location, and so it's a little hard when you're, in the jungles.
I'm trying to bring up the questions here. Not only did that go down, there we go. Bear with us, folks. Sorry, here we go. This is in from Jasper. The events of 9/11 were used to the advantage of market players with foreknowledge of the disaster, who placed massive bets legally that the airlines were about to go bust. This was noted by only a few of us and reported by even fewer. However, it is interesting to consider that one might have spotted and interpreted the anomaly that day and essentially predicted 9/11. Might the same thing happen in the moments leading up to that catastrophic day we are approaching? Could something very weird happen the day before the markets to start to collapse?
Hello?
Yeah.
Well?
And we just got the 30-second notice.
Yeah. I think that the U.S. and other governments knew who the ones were who were in the market shorting the airlines and things like that. And they're not going to tell us because the American government would go to berserk. But American people would go berserk. But I think we could expect another false flag operation like that. And so I'm sorry we don't have more time, Jasper, but thank you for sending the question in, as usual.
And we're out of time.